Join us on Patreon and become part of our journey to uncover history's untold stories. Your support helps us create in-depth content, bring hidden narratives to life, and keep history alive for everyone.
In the still of the night, when silence reigns and the stars whisper through the veil of darkness, countless cultures have spoken of things that move unseen, entities that twist the mind, stir fear, and wage war against the soul. In these quiet hours, humanity has long felt the presence of something older, darker, and invisible to the naked eye. For millennia, across deserts and mountains, from the chambers of prophets to the scrolls of ancient scribes, stories have emerged of a spiritual war, unseen, yet deeply felt. Among the richest and most enduring of these sources is the Ethiopian Bible, a text that has preserved visions, revelations, and spiritual insights absent from the Western canon. It dares to ask a question many fear to confront. Are demons real? And if so, what battlefield have they chosen for their war? The Ethiopian scriptures suggest the answer lies not in myths, but in the very foundation of human history itself. Long before Christianity spread westward through Rome and later into Europe, it had already taken deep root in Ethiopia. Known as one of the oldest Christian nations in the world, Ethiopia's religious texts preserve layers of spiritual knowledge largely erased or omitted from mainstream Christianity. These sacred writings, many translated into Gwizi, the liturgical language of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, contain expanded versions of biblical stories, as well as entire books banned or ignored by the Western Church. Within these ancient books, demons are not metaphors for moral weakness nor mere symbols of human folly. They are real beings with names, lineages, purposes, and strategies, and they play a significant role in the spiritual economy of the cosmos. The Book of Enoch, which remains canonical in the Ethiopian Bible but apocryphal in the West, opens the door to a world where the divine and demonic intersect with humanity in terrifying intimacy. Enoch, the seventh generation from Adam, is taken up by God and shown the realms of heaven and the secrets of the fallen watchers, angels who defied divine order by descending to earth. According to Enoch, these angels took human wives, a forbidden union that gave birth to monstrous hybrids called the Nephilim. These giants, neither fully divine nor human, were said to devour the earth and teach mankind war, witchcraft, astrology, and vanity. When these Nephilim died, their spirits did not return to heaven or earth but became restless wanderers, disembodied and enraged. These are the demons of the Ethiopian tradition, the tortured souls of unnatural beings, driven by hatred for humanity and thirsting for destruction. This account is not an isolated myth. The Book of Jubilees, another sacred Ethiopian text, reiterates and expands this narrative. It claims that Noah, after surviving the flood, pleaded with God to restrain the spirits of the Nephilim. God bound 90% of them in a pit, but allowed a tenth to remain active on earth under the command of Mastema, a chief demon permitted to test the faith of men. These surviving demons were not left unchecked. In the Ethiopian understanding of spiritual warfare, righteous angels like Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel are constantly sent to battle these evil forces on behalf of God's people. Whereas Western Christianity often limits demonology to brief encounters in the New Testament, such as Jesus exorcising unclean spirits in the Gospels, the Ethiopian tradition presents spiritual warfare as a central, ongoing struggle. Demons are not simply cast out. They are recognized as part of an ancient celestial rebellion, tied directly to humanity's origins and spiritual destiny. Every human soul, according to this view, walks amidst this war, vulnerable to temptation, possession, and deception, unless guarded by divine wisdom, prayer, and angelic intervention. The Kebra Nagast, the epic royal chronicle of Ethiopia, weaves this spiritual conflict into the nation's very identity. It tells how the Ark of the Covenant came to rest in Axum, brought by Menelik I, the son of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. In Ethiopian theology, the Ark itself is not just a relic, but a weapon in the ongoing battle against demonic forces. It is described as a source of divine fire, purity, and presence, capable of smiting unclean spirits and shielding the faithful. The guardianship of the Ark by Ethiopian priests is not merely ceremonial. is spiritual defense against the legions of darkness. Further, Ethiopian monastic traditions are rich with stories of saints and holy men who encountered demons directly. One such revered figure is Abba Samuel of Waldeba, who lived in the 14th century and was said to have cast out demons, healed the possessed, and engaged in spiritual combat through intense fasting and prayer. His life, preserved in hagiographies, echoes the tone of the New Testament's Desert Fathers, but with a uniquely Ethiopian resonance. In this tradition, spiritual warfare is not abstract theology. It is a lived reality. Every temptation, illness, or misfortune may conceal a demonic cause, and every victory in life requires discernment and divine intercession. One of the most intriguing features of the Ethiopian view is its unbroken continuity with ancient Near Eastern thought, including older Judaic and even pre-Israelite cosmologies. Ethiopian Orthodox Christianity did not sever itself from its Hebraic roots as drastically as Western Christianity did. Instead, it preserved a mosaic of spiritual ideas in their fuller form. This is why names like Azazel, Shemahaza, and Mastema appear not as vague shadows but as clearly defined actors within the spiritual drama. Azazel, for instance, is described as the leader of the Watchers who taught humans how to make weapons and adorn their bodies, laying the foundation for sin through pride and violence. His punishment, chained and cast into a desert abyss, mirrors Jewish Yom Kippur rites in which a scapegoat for Azazel was driven into the wilderness, a symbolic banishment of sin. This continuity suggests that the Ethiopian canon may provide one of the clearest lenses through which to view the original Hebrew cosmology of demons and angels. It refuses the sanitized dualism of later Western theology that often stripped the demonic realm of its historical context. The Ethiopian Bible dares to present a world where heaven and hell are not distant abstractions but overlapping realities, where demons walk among the living, whispering through shadows, and where the battle for every soul is a daily, intimate affair. Yet, despite its darkness, the Ethiopian narrative does not dwell in fear. It balances this war with a deep, unwavering faith in divine justice and protection. Demons may be active, but they are not all-powerful. Their actions are limited, their reach constrained by divine decree. The faithful, it is taught, must arm themselves not with swords but with scripture, humility, and prayer. The Psalms of David, especially in the Ethiopian Orthodox tradition, are seen as potent tools of spiritual warfare. Many believers chant them daily, believing each verse to slice through the chains of demonic bondage. In the final analysis, the Ethiopian Bible offers a profound and sobering affirmation. Demons are real, and spiritual war is not a metaphor. But it also gives humanity a choice, whether to walk blindly into the shadows or awaken to the invisible currents shaping their lives. It urges vigilance, purity, and courage, reminding us that the war, though ancient, is not yet over. For every generation must choose anew whether it will yield to the whispers of the fallen or stand firm in the light of the Most High.